Welcome to the Daily Jing for Friday, February 12th. Here's the quote of the day. There are two things you need to remember about concrete. It's always getting harder and it cracks. Ernie, foreman on the Millersville West Frederick Street project. Wise words. So let's look at the schedule. This is Friday of the fourth week. We're working on Green 2.2 and it's due on Monday. The first draft of the paper is due on next Friday, a week from today, or that following Monday. And I'll be setting up the peer reviews next week. Okay? All right, here's some notes on the reader analysis. I'm sorry, the reflection imitation. It's a difficult paper not because the subject is difficult, coming up with how you learn to do something, but it's difficult because you have to give your reader the experience of learning. You have to dramatize the moment you learn to do something. It's more of a mental thing than a physical thing, although you do the physical. Find your Carter on the stairs and actually look him in the eye. But then you figure out by connecting that encounter with some mysterious bit of information you received sometime before from your Bowen, something at the time you did not understand. And you have to set up this person who tells you something that you don't understand. And don't worry about it if it didn't happen in sequence, because there's always people telling us something that we're not ready for. So imagine that person in your life that relates to this particular circumstance and put them first after you set up your disposition. Okay? So the process goes from previous information, wondered about, but not understood, to an experience you have where you attempt some feat and fail, back to that piece of previous information you don't understand, to the realization of how you can do whatever you are trying to do because you now understand what that previous information means. It has become knowledge. The paper occurs in one scene with a flashback. So concentrate on one scene and a flashback. You're struggling with something that you can tell us about, and you can explain how someone tried to instruct you about it, but you didn't understand. And then you flash back to that when you're doing whatever you're doing, and you take some point of information from that previous information, previous person, your Bowen, and implement it in the particular scene that you're in. So it's hard to get your mind around this idea until you figure that you have to use the previous information as a tool for understanding. And this is the hard part, this sequence where you recover some past information to use it to learn to do something that did not necessarily happen at the time, but it must be employed to create the myth of learning. Fudge the truth. Bring the previous information back to help you figure out how you learn to do whatever. The hardest part of the assignment is to lie about the fact that you weren't thinking about the previous information when you learn to do that thing. But you must in order to give your reader the experience of learning. So you have to lie in an attempt to show us the truth. The assignment demands that you let the previous information, your Bowen, help you figure out how you learned to do X, even though in reality it might not have happened that way. Yet it has to be plausible that it could have helped, that this person, this Bowen, could have helped you, and you need to have him, her help you so your reader can understand your experience, the experience of learning. Okay? So the question of the day is, when is the first draft due? And it's due a week from today, or by that following Monday. All right? Thanks. Bye.